All right, good evening, guys, and welcome to our last session for the semester. So, hopefully, everybody will be present tonight as we have this is our last session. This is our 16th session. So, our lesson for tonight is about regression. Okay, so for before that, our objectives for this evening is to number one, discuss the importance of explaining the importance of um, um, explaining a dependent variable. Number two, value the importance of explaining a dependent variable. And number three, understand the basic concepts of explaining a dependent variable. So for regression, we all know that comparing two means for dependent variables is not that easy. And linear regression is the analysis set for a statistical process for estimating the relationship between dependent variable. It is also called the outcome and the dependent variable, which is the predictors or the covariates. So the most common form of regression analysis is linear regression. So that's what we're going to do this evening, in which one finds the line or a more complex linear combination that closely fits the data according to specific mathematical criterion. In regression analysis, it is used primarily for conceptualization of distinct purposes. First of all, we have the regression analysis that is widely used for predicting and forecasting. So prediction and forecasting. So where is it used? It has a substantial overlap with the field of machine learning. And second, in some solutions, regression analysis can be used to infer causal relationships between the independent and dependent variable. So most importantly, regression by themselves only reveal relationships between the dependent variable and the collection of the independent variable. That is in a fixed data set. So to use the regression for prediction or to infer causal relationship, respectively, the researcher must carefully justify why existing relationship have predictive power for the new context or why the relationship between two variables has a causal interpretation. And then the latter is especially important when researchers hope to estimate causal relationship among observational data. So in our slide here, there are two basic types of regression that are simple linear regression and multiple linear regression. We also have nonlinear, but that's beside the point because although we have the nonlinear method, it is used for complicated data and analysis. So we're going to concentrate more on two types. So the simple linear regression uses one independent variable to explain or predict the outcome of the dependent variable, while multiple linear regression uses two or more independent variables to predict the outcome. Regression can help finance and invest professionals as well as professionals in other businesses. So the general form of each type of regression is, for simpler linear regression, you have y is equivalent to a plus bx plus u. Whereas on multiple linear regression, we have y is equivalent to b1x1 plus b2x2 plus b3x3 plus dot dot, or until such time that btxt plus u satisfy the equation, where y is the variable that you are trying to predict or your dependent variable, and then x is the variable that you are using to predict y, or what you call your independent variable. A is the intercept, b is the slope, and u is the regression residual. So regression takes a group of random variables through to be predicting y and tries to find a mathematical relationship between them. So you will find out later on in our example what I'm talking about. This relationship is typically in the form of a straight line. That is why it's called linear regression, that best approximates all the individual data. So for your activity number 21, you are going to compute a regression with any statistical value, provided it satisfies the need for data on a tabular manner. So for reference, refer to your module 16, and then give only one example, and then you have to use Excel and SPSS. So that is all for tonight for our lecture, Ad Astra Sapientiam, to the stars through knowledge. Okay, what precedes our lecture for this evening will be the demonstration for linear regression. Okay, so let me present to you. Let me just present to you my entire screen. Okay, as you can see, I'm hoping that you can see my screen already. Okay, so for linear regression in Excel, so we have here Excel, and then actually, guys, we're going to put up two values only. So what we're going to do is we're going to put values from 75 to 99, all right? And then see to find out, we're going to find out if ever the values are straightened or being depicted for our linear regression values. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to copy paste and then paste some more. Actually, we're going to put values ranging until 20. All right. So let me finish putting up the values. Okay. Okay. So I think let me finish this. Okay, so we have two variables A and B. So what we're going to do right now is to go to data and click data analysis. Then for data analysis, guys, what we're going to do is to go to regression. All right. Then you press OK. Then we're going to input the Y range and the X range. So the Y range is the dependent variable, which is on B. And the X range should be your A. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. So the Y should be here. Okay. Then, okay, your X should be here. Okay. Okay. So to add, okay, so that we can, instead of A and B, this is X and Y, right? Okay, let's, I get, change the values, no? Okay. Oh. Then afterwards, for labels and constant, for level of confidence, we're going to use 95%. And then what you're going to do is to press OK. Okay, so on the second sheet, you will see the result for our regression analysis. So what we're going to do is to copy paste this on your you can actually make a screenshot already because you have your ANOVA, your regressional, residual, and intercepts for X and Y variable. So just take note of the data, no? Take note of the data and then produce a screenshot of this and upload to your Google Classroom. Okay? For SPSS, what we're going to do is to put here the variables for X and Y first. Then for the measure, you're going to use scale. All right. And then copy paste the values for X and Y from your Microsoft Excel. So you just copy this and then paste it here. Now, for SPSS, what we're going to do is to click Analyze, then you go to Regression, and then you look for Linear Regression. All right? So again, after copy pasting this, your variables for your X and Y, go to Analyze, then Regression, and Linear. Okay. Now, you are going to um, you're going to plot your dependent and independent variables. So your independent variable should be X, and your dependent variable should be Y. Okay? Pareho kagina. So the same with our values that you can see on Microsoft Excel. Then you press OK. Then this is the result of your residual regression total. So you're going to compare the results. Okay. So tandaan nyo guys ha, kung ano tsura na de. And then this one. So for summary outputs, you can see here the 7.6 standard error for the estimate. Then the standard error 7.334. So the same. Pareho siya. Okay. So this one. And then you can see here also. Okay. So for the significant value for the ANOVA, you have 0.653. So for the ANOVA, okay, so this one. So it's parehas na guys, 0.6529. 29 if you're going to round it off, that's 3.653. So more or less, it's still the same. Okay, so I think after that, you're going to produce a screenshot and upload it to your Google Classroom. Okay. So that is it for this evening, guys. I hope that you learned something out of our lecture for tonight. As I've said, this is our last session. Supposedly, may dua pa kita guys ka session, pero actually, na-delay kita to it 2 weeks after the ano. So our limit only for our duty here for our school should be 18 supposedly. So that's 16 don weeks, may 16 na kita plus 2 nga ligad. So just think about it as bonus na lang siguro, no? And prepare for the examination next week. All right? So or I don't know if you can do that this week. I don't think so. So what I'm going to ask for you is please work out your activities kung ay pa ninyo guys matapos maobra or may nabilin pa ka mga activities sa subject naton. So amat-amatan nyo dun guys ka obra kagipasa. Okay, so I'm after this we're going to compute for your grade already, and please take the examination. Why pa naton ma-schedule kung ano yung exam naton. So most probably hulat lang kita guys sa announcements. It's either Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday, something, or maybe next Friday next week, or depende. So most probably siguro Monday, Tuesday, or maybe on Friday, I will just inform you on what's the date and the time of our examination. So most probably Monday or Tuesday, okay? So do you have any questions about linear regression? I think hapos lang din siya. If you missed out on something on our demonstration or demo kagina, just look for the replay later on and do your work. Okay, so this is one of the easiest examples that we can have, because any value that's comparing two variables only, we have the dependent and independent variable. So what is the difference between correlation and regression? Actually, your correlation is the two variables. I think you can do two variables for correlation as well. But the main difference between the two is you have three possibilities for correlation, meaning to say kung ano ang nag-affect sa dependent or dependent variable, nag-affect. It's either positive effect or negative or wala. So tatlo. Whereas regression ninyo, I think this is non-parametric. And at the same time, we have the linear echelon. We have the linear shape prediction. So that is why ang regression, guys, is more on forecasting. So if you forecast something out of like for example, if you plant a tomato right now, what will be its appearance 30 days after? So the example na. Or most probably, guys, if you're given a coin, if you're going to invest $1 or 1 peso, how much is value if it is compounded by 3 every day? After 30 days, ano yagwa na? Pera ang value. So, more or less, the prediction for that is the linear regression, meaning to say you can predict the outcome of any value. So, provided that you have satisfied the value for dependent and independent variable. And expectedly, the return is constant. So, that's the main thing about regression. You have the constant attribute change or constant parameter in which you can predict the outcome. Other than do pareho lang ba pareho man ba sa naton sa weather report, di ba pag-asa nagbutang kundi gaagi ang bagyo. So the same manda, guys. You will see the forecast also kung magtaas ang peso or magtaas ang so you can predict the outcome. Like for example, ang gasolina kada semana pira ka peso o pira ka centavos ang nagsaka. So kung nagasaka siya 125 1 peso and 25 cents kada semana. So pira ka semana kag ma-predict nimo nga gasolina 60 pesos. Nga wherein karang karang February, yung price lang ka gasoline mga 51 or 52. So you can see the trend. May ginatawag na trend or trending. Gin-refer ko ang trend nga daya. Kaya you can also put regression, statistical value for regression in social media. Or at the same time, like for example, how many likes do you if kada minuto may nag-like ng 3 katao sa post mo. So you can predict the outcome. So that is regression. Whereas ang correlation, that is our topic last time, it's basically the positive or the negative trend that is affecting the variables, or there's no possibility that will affect each other, or constant siya, meaning to say 0, 0. So for regression, as I've said, you can see in the demo again on how are you going to do that in both sa Excel and sa SPSS. So do you have any comments or questions, guys? Do you have any suggestions or anything that you will say, wanted to say about regression? So if you are if you have some things that you wanted to tackle, or please don't hesitate to put it in our chat box kung may comments ka mo or suggestions, guys. Aba, man. Okay, so I think that is all for this evening. No, you put your attendance on our chat box, and please study. Please study from chapters 10 to 16. Please study chapters 10 to 16. That will be the coverage of our final examination. So basically, that's ang magwa sa exam na to, mo lang na siguro, guys. There's no problem solving. It's all multiple choices. So siguro mga siguro, guys, mga 60 items or 60 or 80 items ang exam natin. I will just announce maybe in our GC lang, so that you can prepare. Okay? So thank you very much for attending our class this evening. So shout out to everyone. Shout out to Vincent, to Joyce, and to LA. Good evening to Randall, to Janine, to Henry, to Bredin John, to Alena, to Maris, to Pearl Joy, to Juliet, to Clea May, to Andrea, to Rose Ann Avelona, to Rhoda May, to Ronila, to Jocelyn, to Fiona, and to Joylyn. Okay, so those are the people that I can see on my screen right now. I don't know what happened to to the others. So please put your attendance there sa chat box, and then you're free to leave now. Okay, so thank you so much, guys, and I hope that you learned something this semester in our subject. So see you next week in our exam, in our final exam. So please study chapters 10 to 16. Okay? So, do pito ka chapters, no? Sige. So, thank you so much and good evening and shout out sa tanan nga panimalay ninyo dyan. Dayan. Okay? Okay. So, I hope that you already put there your attendance on our chat box, no? Okay. So, thank you so much for attending our class this evening and see you next semester, hopefully. Siguro, base. I don't know if I have a subject with you guys. O pa-load namon. So,
Sir,
to.
kung midterm, sir.
Schedule lang nato na. Yeah,
Okay,
midterm
sir.
exam. Okay, thank you. Okay, so thank you guys.